Right. Good evening. Number 2. I think it is this time. Number 2.
Yeah, it's number
So-
2. Good evening to everyone. Thank you for coming back if you're returning.
Outside broadcast. So something different. So we can play like something like Wally. Where in the world are we today? So we're going to cut in some high tech pictures today as well. So I've got my little controller here ready. So hopefully that'll go all right. So. And what have you got this week then, Matthew? What's the first one on the list?
Well, today we've got our 3 news headlines of the week yet again. We'll review, have our say on 3 topics each. We'll do that. If you watched it last week, you know what we're talking about. And then it's the 30-second sports review, followed by the weather, our recommendation for a film for the week with what releases are coming up. We have a grumble of the week. It's my turn this week. You had your say last week. And then we'll finish with our question for the audience.
Okay. Right, well, I've only got 2 news things to deal with. I've only got two news. I'll think of one as I go along, as usual. Right, first thing is, as you can tell, lovely weather. It's a heat wave. Not quite. Not where we are anyway. So I came dressed for the occasion. He came dressed for winter. So as you can tell, it's not that hot here. So I'm sorry, Mr. Weatherman. You need to be careful. Take it from the country people. If the cows are at the top of the field, it's going to be nice. If they're at the bottom of the field, wearing galoshes and having an umbrella, it's not going to be nice. Yeah, just look at the countryside before you. Doesn't matter. The cows and pigs always tell the weather better. Proven fact. Okay.
Was that your number 1?
That was me number 1. The meteorological people have got it wrong again.
Oh, okay. Is that what it was? I was.
Yeah, it's supposed to be heat wave.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, in that case, it sounds like Mick's only got 1, but we'll get into that later. My number 1 is naked ramblers in Sherwood Forest are getting the locals hot under the collar. Yet again, all the top websites, BBC, Sky News, etc., all reporting on this. Apparently, there's outrage last weekend. The locals are getting really annoyed by this, and apparently the RSPB are actually for it and encouraging it. And there's some signs that the locals are not happy with, but apparently the rules are official. As long as you're wearing clothes when you leave your car and returning to your car, it's all good.
So the RSPB, Royal Protection for
Yes.
Birds,
Yes.
are complaining about
It's a local complaining.
about naked rambling
Yes. Naked rambling.
in Sherwood Forest.
In Sherwood Forest.
Do they have pets?
I don't know.
Some sort of bizarre dogging thing. I don't know. I mean, I'm actually from Sherwood Forest originally, and I've seen no naked ramblers at all. However, some of the parks do have people doing strange things at night. So, but I've never heard the RSPB complaining or getting behind them.
No, they're encouraging it, apparently.
That's probably the wrong word to say, get behind them.
Well, yeah, it probably is. Probably is.
Right, okay.
Okay, you're number 1, 2?
I'm number 2. Yeah. Television and teenagers. It's an observation as well as the news. No one really notices this. Always complaining about bad behaved teenagers and things like this. I'm thinking, well, how much of television is to actually blame? So I actually spent several hours watching what teenagers watch on television, and I can tell you now, it's rubbish. It's not entertaining.
I am quite surprised because
it's not entertaining. I don't see what they're after, but it doesn't help them either. I mean, in my day, you'd fall over, you'd fall in some here. It's a bit of a minefield here, but you fall over some large discs that are very mushy in the middle of the field here, and you just wipe it off with your hands, wash your hands, and get on with life. But obviously not on this occasion.
Yeah, but when you say about things that teenagers watch, you watch Pornhub and X videos as well, so don't pretend you don't, Mick. So, and a lot of people would disagree. Those sorts of things that teenagers watch are okay.
My history.
Just a guess. You put it, it's an observation, Mick.
All it is just to get the right addresses.
Well, yeah. Anyway, right.
Yeah, I've watched it, and sorry, I'd rather the kids go out, fall over, graze themselves like I did, get on with it. Bit rough and tough, rough. It helps. Matter of interest is that scientists have said that the actual children of this generation are the weakest, sort of like from our side of the country, obviously, maybe, but they're the weakest of the generations of Homo sapiens ever to inhabit the Earth, because they're not used to having dirt and everything on the fingers. So get them children out there, get them in the dirt, get them playing rough again.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, my number 2 is the creator of I Am Legend has had to defend his movie because he's had to say it's not the truth. It wasn't a prediction for coronavirus, because it's being used by one side of the debate that it was actually a warning to the government that this would happen because of the vaccine, and he's come out and defended his film and said it's not a prediction. But again, it's on all the top websites and he's making the news.
Amazing again, another weird and wonderful statement with the film industry coming out saying, with people saying that the film industry are predicting the future. No, they're not. I mean, certain things, if you look at certain things like microwaves and things like that, they were made by NASA, which is interesting in itself. But also, if you look at Star Trek, a lot of things that are on Star Trek actually are modern things that we use nowadays. Just have a look and you'll be fascinated to actually see that from the 1960s and 70s, what are actually made today. So, for modern technology, fantastic little thing. Look at this little thing here I've got here. Right, we'll see if we'll bring it in wherever I've left it hovering.
Well, seeing that you've not got a number 3,
1 second.
I'm going to have to bring in number 3 then, actually.
Yeah, bring in number 3. I'll try to find where I've left it. So,
Dr. Hughes, Welsh doctor, has tweeted.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, here we go. I'll like to put a copy of the tweet on. So, not had the vaccine yet, and then there's a picture of some vegetables. We won't go into too much detail, but it says, "Protect your erection, get the injection." What do you think about that, Mick?
Oh, what an absolutely! I can't believe he said that. That's well, there's enough confusion out there already. Right, there's enough confusion. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody wants to know whether it's right, wrong, whatever are we into. We're going to avoid this. I'm going to ban this topic completely.
Yeah,
it's actually ruining everybody's lives, and we've tried avoiding this. We're going to start avoiding it.
But I do have a solution for this one, though, mate.
But the doctor himself, sorry, mate, that was silly. That was just silly to say that. You could be in trouble.
However,
that's a tut from us.
I do have a solution, because to prove whether they are protecting the erections or not, and if you've not got the jab, just to prove it, I think they should send them to Sherwood Forest. What do you think, Mick? I think that'd solve that, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would prove if he's got a point or not. So,
So that's it, Doctor. Go and do a bit of market research in Sherwood Forest. So, be careful what you're doing in Sherwood Forest. But, very strange, very strange subject. People are making all sorts of weird and wonderful things up.
Well, moving us on, it's our 30-second sports review. I want to say ours, I mean mine.
Here we go again.
So, are we ready for this one?
Right, okay, go for it.
Okay, Lionel Messi joins PSG on a free transfer. Have PSG broke financial fair play rules? We'll never know. Barcelona have let him go. Are they in trouble financially? I think so. The Premier League returns this weekend after the EFL returned last week. Lukaku's going to join Chelsea for £97.5 million, and the Lions lose the rugby series in South Africa 2-1.
Oh, right, okay. So that was quite easy this week.
Yeah,
what about the darts? Darts Nationals, did you do that one? You said darts last week.
You gave me 30 seconds. And I
I thought I'd just throw it in. Okay, so I haven't got much more to say about that, except for who was that? PS what?
Paris Saint-Germain.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Very wealthy owners.
Sounds like a statement.
Linked with Qatar, but there seem to be a lot of free transfers this summer, but the wages, it's partly $500,000 a week at least, plus kickbacks. So, and apparently they were close.
Kickbacks. $500,000 a week, kickbacks.
But they've already got
That's like working at KFC and getting half a chicken leg.
The thing is with it, though, they've already got a lot of players who are on similar money. So I think they're spending too much money. and they're not
Too
allowed
much
to in
money.
the
It would
rules.
take everyone nearly a lifetime to make that sort of money.
So,
Ridiculous.
well,
Moving on. Well, you know, it's a sore subject. Move straight on.
if people subscribe and
Never
share
mind.
our videos, we might be there one day, but it's over to you. Right. Anyway.
Our fences are no value anymore. Right, carry on.
We'll be looking with 2 subscribers.
Right.
Weather, Nick, come on.
Weather. We're doing the weather live. Look at this. I'm dry. I'm dressed for the sun, and there isn't any. So, right, it's been raining here, and we're supposed to be in the middle of a heat wave. I've got my best heat wave clothes on. I've got my shorts on. I've even got my legs out.
That's how you know we're not in Sherwood Forest.
And there is no sun. It came out 2 minutes before we started filming, and then it decided to go away, and now we're surrounded by storm clouds. So anyway, so you've got that wrong. So the weather today, I can tell you, tomorrow we're expecting sunshine. Sunshine, last day of our outside broadcast. So sunshine tomorrow, and but today it's not that good. It's been raining most of the night in our luxury accommodation. So the walls were flapping around a little bit. So obviously, you know, not yeah,
I need to start with my mind now, especially after the previous story. Anyway, we'll leave that one. We'll move on to our films this week.
Yeah, films this week. Right, the films this week quite interesting because I've got a bit of an annoyance factor. I've heard and I've looked through things that there's a story going around about Jack's coming back in Titanic. So now the last time we saw Jack, he was sinking to the bottom of the sea, holding the Hope Diamond.
Can I just say something about that?
Right,
how selfish was Kate Winslet there?
She could have put her hand in, pulled her out. Yeah,
and she just let him die.
Yeah, but she didn't watch him.
She watched him die. She could have just shuffled over, tried a bit harder. They both would have been on it. Both saved. Different story.
Well,
how selfish of Kate Winslet.
Apparently, from what I've seen so far, I don't know what the ins and outs of it. There are only little bits of snippets at the moment. Apparently, Jack is frozen. And he's going to be reincarnated from being frozen 15 years later.
I was thinking it might be better because she didn't let him on the door. He comes back and just holds her, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the truth is.
Where have you got that from, anyway?
I've seen a little snippet about it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be totally convinced or whether someone's having a bit of a play with it.
So now you got your grumble. Well, do you have you got a recommendation then?
My recommendation for a film this week.
You've not, have you?
I have.
He's making up on the spot now.
I'm actually going back in time a little bit. My recommendation is an old favourite by Patrick Swayze, and it's Roadhouse. Classic film, a Roadhouse.
Okay.
So it's probably about 30 years old, but it's an absolutely stunning track of music on there. There's a bit of violence for the lads. There's a love story for the ladies. And it's a top 10 hit for me. For Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. Get the classic films on.
Well, I'm going to say no. So anyway, we've got a couple of releases this week. A couple stood out to me. One on Netflix. Apparently their big release this time is The Kissing Booth 3. I've never even heard of number 1 or 2. So let alone 3. How did they get this far? I don't know. But apparently it's very popular. We'll leave that one there.
Very popular. They have to sanitize it all the time.
My recommendation for the week, and you might be kicking yourself for missing this one, Ryan Reynolds in Free Guy. And apparently it's a bit of a combination between The Truman Show and Wreck-It Ralph. He's basically in some sort of video game, but he's a background character, and there's some sort of link. Apparently it's better than it sounds, but Ryan Reynolds is apparently brilliant in it, trying to play a serious character who just gets bored with life. Similar to like Truman Show, tries breaking out, you know the script. But apparently it's very funny.
I actually have seen the clips for that one as well myself. And number 2 is actually scheduled already. Ta-da! There you go.
Well, they must be believing it. So watch that. I will be. I'm sure you will be as well, actually.
I'll have that. I am a Ryan Reynolds fan. So, I'll be watching that one. So we'll let you know on that one. But always a good watch.
Just for a private inside joke, I'm sure I was positive your film of the week your recommendation was going to be Good Will Hunting. Bit of a plug to somebody there. Anyway, Grumble of the Week is me, isn't it?
Your Grumble of the Week this week? Yes. Yes, go for it.
Let me wrap it up before he gets involved, because he will. I know he will. He's going to bite. So, clickbait gone mad. Gullibleness gone mad. This is my Grumble of the Week. Because too many people now are watching things, reading things, and they believe it for fact. And and behind it, there's no actual facts, no actual reports. They always say, a study says. What is that study? Tell me. And when you press people on it, they get wound up and they start losing their temper. And this comes from an incident I had about 2 or 3 weeks ago, not linked to you, Mick, not linked to anybody here. But you press them and they just start going on the offensive. But if you've got an argument to make and you're saying, facts say or studies show, you need to know your information. You can't just pull one out of thin air. I can do that.
Was this a topic or just...
There's been many, and I'm not going to go into specifics because I don't want to offend anyone, but it revolves around religion, Brexit, coronavirus, the 3 major ones that you don't really want to talk in too much detail. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to make a point and you're going to get high and mighty, back it up with proper facts, proper information, know it, don't just regurgitate what somebody said on a clickbait article where they say themselves, studies have shown, but they don't say anything. So for me, no, unless it states properly and you can go and find that study, it's a load of rubbish. They just want you to click on it because those people will be making money from that. Simple as that. If it's a proper study, I don't have a problem with it because we can get behind it. If it's proper information, brilliant. Or they say a doctor says, well, get that doctor to put his name on it because then I'll have more chance of believing it. If you just say, oh, a doctor says, I'm sorry, I could say, a dog said, well, you know what I mean?
Not grumble of the week, whinge of the week by the sound of it.
I think I've got a point.
You've got several points, but it's over everything. You're supposed to pick one item to grumble about, not everything.
Oh, it was. All I'm saying is, on any argument, get your facts right.
2 and 2 do not make 74.
2 and 2 make 22, by the way.
Yeah, so that's what he's saying. He said, if you're going to have an argument and you're going to say, well, I can back it up with facts, let's see the facts, please.
Yes.
Don't just say, absolutely, I can back it up. Just put the facts on. You can put them. It's modern technology time. We're not brilliant at this, but I can tell you what, even I know, in a studio, they can put the facts underneath.
Yeah.
So put the facts up.
Put the facts, yeah.
Don't just to believe any old rubbish what you're coming out with.
But don't you be so gullible. Cross-reference it. Check it's on more than one site. It's the simple stuff you get taught in primary school. Well, maybe not you, but most of us.
I come from Sherwood Forest. We're taught to avoid stranger danger.
Apparently not. So that is my rumble of the week.
Right. So we're going to have a little game for you here today. We're going to say, where are we in the world?
Yes, this is our question.
So this is our question. We're going to give you some photographic evidence. I will now indicate to our high-tech science division.
Well, that was you.
Mine's not working. Send yours up.
We've just caught him off out of guard. So we'll have to put this in later, but we'll put it back in. So that's a question for you. Yeah. Where in the world are we? Also, we'd like to extend last week's question out a little bit more. Again, just keep telling us if there's anything you want to say, any feedbacks.
We need questions. Give us questions.
Please like, subscribe, but most importantly, please share our video. We want as many people as possible to see it.
If I'm coming out in the cold in my shorts, then you need to ask me a question. Yeah.
Here's one.
Otherwise, I'm getting dressed up like him.
If we'll just keep it low, get to 100 views. Mick's going to do his naked rambling.
No, I'm not doing that.
On that note, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Right, here comes your clip.